were a child and you were asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? Do you remember what that was? A fireman? An astronaut? An actress? You go to school, later university, and you get asked the same question. What do you want to do when you graduate? Did you really ever explore these options? And if I asked you today, and you had free choice, what would you like your next role to be? Then what would it be? See, I'm one of the first millennials, and we get stuck at this question. We get stuck at this question because of two reasons. First, there's so much choice, and the choice is real. And the second is, we're scared of taking the wrong decision. A couple of years ago, I made the transition into management, and I was completely overwhelmed with the questions and answers I was getting from the people I was having the one-to-ones with. And that really changed the way of what I see as a fulfilling career. I was expecting that these young professionals would be asking how to grow, how to become better, how to have better skills. But that wasn't really the case. It was all old school ideas, and nothing of what the ideas they were sharing on social media and talking around otherwise. I want to show you something. You will all recognize it because we've all been taught that this is true. We all believe that this is the rundown of our career. We have performance on one side, and we have age at the down there. Until we're about 25 or mid-20s, we try to figure it out what it is that we really, really want to do. And then either you or somebody else takes a decision for you, and then you become really good at what you do. And then, what happens then? Absolutely nothing. Until we're about 60, and when we're 60, nah, that's it. Scary if you look at it like that, right? So the problem is that with all the information out there, social media, the internet, the millennials, we hit a wall. We hit a wall at around here. And we start to ask ourselves, is this really the career I want to hit that plateau with? So every decision we take from this point on will dramatically impact who we are. Why? Because in the Western world, our job, our career is our identity. It's scary if you look at it like that. And the crazy thing is this number is dramatically increasing of people being scared because 75% of the workforce will be millennials by 2025. And today, 6 out of 10 millennials are willing to change their job this year. So how do you bring order to this madness? I think a lot of companies and research are trying to figure out what it is. So we get taught we have to do a lot of tests and see what color our personality is and find really, really fancy words, but so now I know who I am, but do I really? So the question I want to pose today is, what if we got it all wrong? What if the idea of the inner calling with the career isn't real? What if the real inner calling is for the exploration itself? Let me just explain to you what I mean. You're not going to disagree because Einstein said this. If you want to get results you've never had, you're going to have to do things you've never done. I think everybody agrees, right? So, in other words, whatever got us to this point will not get us out of this point. The crazy thing is, our generation is job hopping like never before, but statistically, we're not changing anything. We're staying in our same career pattern, we're changing the company and the color on the wall, and that's it. So, what do? We hit the wall, and we get two choices. Either we change the company, we do the same thing, we carry on, and kind of arrange ourselves with it, but more and more people are hitting that wall, and they don't know what to do. The performance goes down, they get depressed, and worse, they burn out. And this is really, really, really alarming. I think this is something which we all need to watch out for. I want to give you a bit of my life story, just to put it into perspective of why I said at the beginning why I feel a little bit different about this. When I was in my mid-20s, I hit that wall and I didn't know what to do. So I had the idea, maybe I'll go back to university, I'll do my master's degree. Or option number 2, I'll do something completely different. Why not? I took option number 2, one of the best decisions I ever did. I went to culinary school and I became a chef for 3 years. I learned 2 things. I learned that there's skills out there I would have never had if I would have stayed in my old career. Things like customer centricity and how to bring theater to the table and how to connect with your customers. And it gave me a different perspective of who I am. I could now see myself from different angles that I was not able to do before. Let me just show to you what that looks like on this graph. You hit the wall, and then you hit the plateau a little bit later. So it might take some time because you go explore, you do something else, but then something else happens as well. Because you now know who you are better, and because you have all these skills that you did not have before, you bring it together. I think that looks a little bit better as an idea of what our career should look like. So if you're a company, I suggest you start looking into people who have a more diverse career background, because you have got people that better understand who they are, you get people who adapt easier to change, and you increase the chance of innovation within your own company. Let me just give you an idea of what that means, but it's not a very pretty idea, but everybody's going to understand it. If you're in the restaurant business and you want to start your franchise, then you have the option between 2 people of putting together a team. One of them comes from the restaurant business industry. The other one has an accounting background. Who do we hire? The guy with the experience, of course, right? Makes total sense. He checks all the credentials. Is that really good? Is that the guy we should have taken? Because we hire the people for the competencies, and we get rid of them for their personalities. So what if we just flip it around? We try to find really motivated people who understand what they have to offer and bring those people to the table. Maybe that accountant guy is the missing link for you to set up a franchise. And if you're afraid of taking choices and finding your exploration path as an individual, I just want to point out there's absolutely nothing to be scared of, because you can only win. There's so much to gain. Let me just quickly summarize this. If you're a company and you're looking for people, I suggest you start embracing change and start embracing people with a different career background, because you will only gain from it. You'll get more rounded, better people who actually understand and bring skills with them that probably you did not even think about yourself. And if you're an individual and you're trying to build a career, and let's face it, who of us isn't? We all know that there's so much more out there, but the only way to get it is to do it. So I suggest when you start building your career, you add exploration as one of your key elements in your career path. Oh, and if you decide to become a cook like me, and I can tell you it's one of the best experiences you'll ever have. You'll gain so much, even if you decide to never work in the kitchen again. Thank you.